Hello and welcome, all you wonderful 2B Dicers. I'm your host, Daddy Tarzan 82855 on all social media platforms. With me is the wonderful cast and crew of 2B Dice Adventures, and we're here to bring to you another episode of Star Wars: Edge of the Empire. With that being said, let's go ahead and get our cast announcement out of the way and start off with our first one in the chamber. It's been a minute. Victor, the Story Weaver, would you mind reminding us who exactly you're playing?
Just a guy. Okay, next. I'm kidding. But I'm not. Hi, everybody. I'm Victor, the Story Weaver. I am currently playing the best pilot of the galaxy. And if there may be someone amongst the group that may want to oppose that, they may need to remind themselves the situation they are in and the fact that they are there because of their choices. And so, there will be just one less voice trying to deny him very soon, apparently. But yeah, he's Guy. He's a pilot. He's a great pilot. And he's one of his major sayings is "Don't die stupid." Not directed to anyone in particular.
Hey guys, I'm
Lovely.
Dia, also known as Diavel.cos on all social media. I am back playing as Dove, who's our resident Zabraki bounty hunter, who is far too trigger happy and far too accurate with said triggers to begin with. So, I think the odds are in our favor, and if not, I have a very fun backup character if needed. Shut Tarzan.
Hi, I am Oz, the other person who will be very shortly needing another backup character. Yes, because I am playing Rawl, a guy who just loves to want to die stupid, okay? And he loves throwing grenades at people, thinking that they won't bounce back. And sometimes, more than likely, they usually just, they just bounce back in his face. And yeah, he's just having a great old time, leading his party down to the dark depths, trying to find some mysterious magical voodoo shit. And yeah, now he's regretting his choices.
Hi, I'm Ren. I go by Maskren on the internet. I'm playing Ego, a Twi'lek scoundrel who is a lover, not a fighter, and is currently leading a group of archaeologists out of a temple because some people decided that they wanted to go further. I don't know. But yes, Ego has never done a thing wrong in his life, for however long that might be.
Hello, everyone. I'm Matt, also known as War Torn Knight out there on the interwebs. You can find me there anywhere you want under that name. And for tonight, I will be playing, once again, Chav Visto, also known as Agent Lancer, the pilot, one of the founding members of Core Atlas, and the first person who will admit that the best pilot in the galaxy is, in fact, Guy the Hawkbat, as soon as Chav is dead.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Guy is supposedly in the running to becoming the next greatest pilot in the galaxy. As soon as
How dare you?
You heard that. God said.
How dare you? I'm out.
whether that is to be true or not is to be diced, but for the time being, let's get a quick little recap as to what we've been up to and where we're at. So, that being said, the crew of the Core Atlas, Chav and Rawl, have ventured deeper into the tomb below the Valley of the Dark Lords. Been referenced on several occasions as the Forbidden Tomb, to which four prominent figures of the Valley, Darth Bane, Naga Sadao, a couple other Dark Lords. Can't remember off the top of my head right now, but we're all poised to contain this otherworldly threat. They met with one of the Dark Lords, Darth Bane, and explained to him that they were exploring the tombs in search of knowledge and preservation of that knowledge, to which this angered the Dark Lord of the Sith, and he promptly executed the person that explained the situation to him, Camden Floor, the Chiss individual that was leading the dig team known as the Crypt Chasers. Upon his execution, the crew decided that it is no longer safe to be on this planet, and they advised immediate extraction before any more harm could be done. Before they could do so, however, the recent activity of Force activity drew the attention of a extremely lethal threat known as a Tentrek, a monstrous creature born of Sith alchemy that feeds on any and all Force attuned creatures. As they made their way outside the tomb of Darth Bane, this creature spotted or sensed a Force user trying to reach out through the Force, that person being Ego within the tomb. This sent the creature into a feeding frenzy and barreled his way towards the entrance of the tomb and trying to get at Ego.
Interrupting to say, Ego still has not done anything wrong in their life.
Due to the quick reactions of several experienced combat members of this team, Guy and Dove quickly made their way out of the way of the creature so they could find themselves in a more advantageous position, taking on the distracted creature as it maintained its focus solely on the Force users inside. They utilized their tools and equipment available to them to eventually bring down this monstrous creature. In the efforts of doing so, it brought down the tomb over the heads of the survivors inside, being led by Rawl, Chav, and Ego. The Crypt Chasers made their way deeper into the underground tunnels to avoid potential falling debris. They were then promptly trapped underground, and as the dust settles, the crew begins their assessment of the situation and theorizing a escape plan, realizing that should they try to dig their way out through where they came in, they will be potentially trapped there for up to 2 to 3 weeks. With limited supplies available to them, they came to the conclusion that might not be the most probable solution. Therefore, they chose to delve deeper into the tombs to find an alternate route out, as this forbidden tomb seems to be connected to the other Dark Lords in the valley. That being said, they ventured through the forbidden threshold into this forbidden tomb, and made their way through a series of traps, a chamber with a series of epitaphs depicting this ancient being's influence throughout the galaxy over millennia, and eventually to a chamber overrun with Force undead, now being invaded by a hive of chlor slugs, a large insect creature with long spindly limbs or spiny limbs and massive rows of teeth. This is a nightmare fuel creature. Realizing the rate at which these chlor slugs were pouring into the chamber, Rawl and Chav came up with the plan to have Ego lead the Crypt Chasers out through the exit way that was shown to Rawl by the entity that has been in contact with them. Meanwhile, Chav would maintain close proximity with Rawl in case he needs help in any situation. The Crypt Chasers and Ego make their way north through the escape tunnel, whereas Rawl and Chav continued their direction east towards their final destination, the Tomb of Evil, as the map is called.
I just want, for the record, to state that the GM just said their final destination.
As
That being
we were railroaded. No, I'm kidding.
That being said, our scene's going to pick up there, but not before our scene takes us to the exterior section of this sector of the galaxy on the ship, the YT freighter, that is currently under the command of Guy, the pilot. He is currently barreling his way towards the nearest planet in the sector to locate a military base to where he can take his comrade, Dr. Bess Rutan, who was gravely injured by a thermal detonator, and get him immediate medical attention with the faint life signs that he detected upon retrieval of his body. Whether or not his efforts will be fruitful is to be diced. Before we pick up, let's go ahead and get our luck points rolled for the day, if somebody would mind sharing the table. Are we starting off strong already?
Let it be known on this day, the last of his days, Chav Vista rolled 2 light side tokens.
My man coming in strong. Okay. 2 light. 2 light. 5 light so far. And 1 dark.
Okay.
What's it gonna be? No!
No.
Okay, looking good. We got 5 light, 2 dark. Okay, good. Nice. Perfect.
Oh, now I see the actual reason why we're going to start with Guy and then go to Dove and everything like that. Tarzan's hoping to use up as many of those light side tokens before we get to the bloodbath.
But then we have the pilot on our side who doesn't need light side tokens. So,
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Our scene brings us to the interior of the YT freighter under the command of Guy. You're currently barreling your way towards the planet in the nearest sector. That being, let's take our look at our galaxy map here. Bring everybody here. There we go. Okay, so you're on Korriban currently. Your options for the quickest travel would have been Ashaeus, Re, or Florum. Droman Kos, but that's a uninhabited planet. Elam probably would be your best bet for a a military base that you could reach. That being the case, you put, knowing that it's still within the sector, it's too short for a hyperspace jump, but you can make you push the throttles to the limits and barrel your way towards this planet. As you're making your way downtown, it doesn't on my PC. That's why it doesn't take long before, as you're traveling, before you start getting emergency healing over the comms from the ship.
Vital signs critical. Vital signs critical. Immediate medical attention required.
I'm getting this hail.
This is from your medical bay, medical monitoring system that's observing Dr. Bess and the Bacta tank that you currently have him in.
Gotcha. I would say that probably Gal would be supervising that.
Correct.
So I would basically just punch the comms while I'm still piloting, because my focus is on, I just gotta go. Like I got no time to like slow down or anything. I'm full on man on a mission.
Yeah.
And I think it's just that thing of, Gal, what's going on?
You immediately get, as she responds in binary, you immediately get a diagnostic of the current predicament, which is there's a cluster of shrapnel closely located to the heart, and it's as the Bacta tank is trying to mend the wounds, it's forcing that shrapnel deeper into the chest cavity towards the heart.
I think that guy needs to build an arc reactor.
Iron Bess. Do I have a sense, considering the time that I have been traveling, of how close I am to my potential first destination?
We said this it's within the sector. It was a 12-hour travel time, I believe, but you rolled a high success rate, so we cut it down to about, I think, 9 or 8 hours, I believe. With the medical report coming from Gal, the severity of this situation, he's not going to be able to last long. You're going to have to pull him out of the Bacta tank to stop the Bacta from force healing the immediate area around his heart to slow down the shrapnel. But that being the case, he's no longer submerged in Bacta, which will at least stabilize him for the time being, stop the bleeding for the time being, to keep him alive. So you're faced with a bit of a dilemma here. Pull him out and hope that he holds out long enough to make it to the planet, which will slow you down, because you'll have to pull him out of the tank and everything, and resituate him on the gurney. Or
not.
You can leave most of like the lines, hooking up lines, saline bags and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be the first time that guy has a person that, if they have an internal like thing damaged and the Bacta would be affecting it, it wouldn't be the first time that he would be going through this as someone who literally does rescue. So their first thing would be, as soon as they hear the explanation from Gal, is just turn out stop the back to tank, drain it slowly, keep them supervised, apply small back to doses on an interval of this many like time frame.
Yeah.
And keep me updated on their state once the Bacta has been drained, so that I know like how stable or unstable they are now after a certain amount of time on the Bacta tank.
Yeah.
So that way, Gal can do that, and I can keep going.
Gotcha. So you do this initial preliminary treatment of the situation. The process goes rather smoothly for the moment. You get constant updates on his vital signs for the next 10 to 15 minutes. But then another alarm goes off, and you see a spike, a drop, in a severe drop in his vitals.
Within those 15 minutes, though, I think I would have actually reached out to his company, and they would have basically been like, this is Guy Nebrasoter, Hawk, alias code Hawkbat, requesting for nearest coordinates to a healing, the medical facility carrying the client with severe injury. Please advised. Coordinates being shared right now. So he would have used that, which is part of his sign, to see if they have, instead of him guessing which planet to go to, if there's one that they can be like, yeah, we letting them know that you're on the way. So that way he literally can just land and straight onto it. And then I will say that he describes the current medical status of Bess, so they know what it is that the problem is. So if the information is relayed to the med bay knows already what the thing that they need to do is once Guy delivers it.
Asset Hotbat, this is Corvus Command. Patient, data received and transmitted. Transmitting your transponder code ahead of you. Proceed to Orbeck Central Command on planet Elam. Transmitting coordinates to you now. Emergency response team will be waiting for you upon arrival.
Roger that, Curvis. Thank you. Hawkback out.
With that, you watch. You send your transponder code for your ship to Corvus Command, and they transmit that information ahead of you, so to expedite the process, entry process. You make your way towards Elam. As soon as you get within the atmosphere or the sector of the planet, you get a transmission of the coordinates for this military base. You begin entering into the atmosphere of the planet. By this point, you're getting constant alarms of severe drop in vital signs, and you're giving Gal commands on how to address each situation that comes up. But as you're getting these, you're starting to see more and more problems come up as you address each individual problem. And it's all starting to stem back to the cluster of shrapnel in his chest. You enter into the atmosphere of the planet, make your way down towards the nearest continent. The coordinates directed you towards. And
I would say that for Guy, what it would be is he would basically ensure the entry of the atmosphere is the reason why they called him Hawkbat, is like it's part of the dive. the moment that he gets into the continent sector where he knows that the majority of what's left of the piloting requires the finesse of just parking it, that's the moment that he asks to switch with Gal.
Okay.
And so it's basically like Gal will park the ship so that last descent is the part that is going to basically need to be slow anyway, because he cannot like crash he cannot crash land with Bess in the current state.
Yeah.
So he swaps with Gal, so Gal can take over the piloting, and then he runs to the med bay so he can keep an eye on Bess and see what he can do as he preps him to move him out.
You give the command for Gal to take over. She wheels rushing past you to the cockpit and takes over. You rush back towards the med bay to oversee final preparation of the packaging of the patient and offloading. Vital signs are critical at this point. You load him up onto a gurney. He's lost consciousness, unresponsive, bleeding profusely, or bleeding has restarted in the chest or internally, and you go to offload, make your way towards the gangplank of the ship. As you feel the landing gear touch down and the ship come to a complete stop, you begin to make your way down the gangplank as your ship computer system monitoring system alerts you.
Life signs lost.
I'm trying to think of what type of equipment do I have as Guy in there. I want to see if I guess I didn't look into this, and I don't want to waste time researching it. But I want to basically, if there I want to see if there's anything that could facilitate Guy opening Bess's chest.
Bone saw. You would need a rib crank that would, or spacer that would open up the chest cavity. So these are things that that the medical staff would probably keep on hand on base, since you keep that in mind as you continue to disembark the ship, and a medical team is on standby, ready to receive and take over. You give them a quick breakdown of vital signs just lost. Begin heart compressions. Conduct targeted heart compressions. There is shrapnel clusters located by the heart. Which alerts them that they cannot use the auto defibrillators, as metal located near the heart would cause more damage.
Guy would let them know, like, as soon as he's doing it, he's doing that. The whole thing is letting them know it's like sharpnels near the heart. Bacta was he's pushing it further. Just vital signs were lost about 37 seconds ago. Avoid defibrillators or any electronics that may make the heart, shock or jolt in a way that could actually affect the sharpnel. And it's just like sort of passing on the information and handing them over to this medical staff, military dressed obviously as you landed in a Imperial base. The leading officer places a hand on your shoulder. Thank you. We'll take over from him. And they rush Dr. Bess into the facility and take over
medical treatment from here.
I think when that happens, I think Guy watches them as they take over, taking Bess away. There's a part of him that, so he reaches out to Gal, who's still in the through comms, and it asks. Guy goes, "Gal, are there any of the comms from the rest of their group that are still on that planet, active and within range that you can patch me through?"
She begins to direct the comms array towards Korriban and extends your signal to reach to the planet. Since it's within sector, it works. You shouldn't have you shouldn't have an issue communicating with anybody on Korriban, except for the ones that are underground. And you reach out. At this point in time, our scene takes us to Dove back on the planet of Korriban. I would assume probably by this point you would have gone back to working on your ship to make sure any alterations that need to be done are taken care of while the surface remains somewhat calm, I would say, and doing periodic checks with the team down below to try and reestablish contact. What else would you be taking care of?
She would have Uno keeping watch, so she's not too worried about anything happening without warning. So honestly, because for the most part she is waiting on Guy to get back or otherwise hear from what their status is. She's sort of in an odd space where she's stuck, where the only options is to stay put or move on forward, but if she moves on forward, that results potential loss of contact. If that makes sense. And she sort of raided. She did sort of raid the archaeologists data already.
Yeah, you already took care of that. You got as much information as you could from them. The information that was available to them, you would have just gotten their contract information, which would have explained the severity, or not the severity, but the promise of violence
Yes.
subtly.
Yes, and subsequently jammed the contact their calls going out. Yes, so really, I'm just waiting for one thing or the other to happen at this time. Unless, if I'm trying to remember what happened last time, and that was, were we trying to move towards the next tomb and find an alternative entrance?
You could try that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was also something she could send to another scout.
I think that was mentioned actually.
Before going deeper and losing communications, Chav gave gave Dove rather our guess of where we were planning on coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, Dove would also have the tracking, if it's still functioning, the tracking that the guy put on Chav. That would be, if it's still active, Dove would probably have that. Guy would have relay that information, like that data.
Active, yes. In range,
That's what I meant. Like if
that's
it's
a
in
different
range.
question.
That's if Dia decided to go on to like another temple to see if there's another way out.
I specifically requested it.
Yeah.
Raw
Hey,
did.
we're planning on
like-
coming out here. Can you make sure it's not like caved in or a bunch
that was
of
the
crazy
question she
monsters?
headed towards that.
Raw
After-
did give everyone a general gist of the layout, so
So, after you're satisfied with the amount of work that you've put into the Echo Selene, and thoroughly rated any of the computer systems of the Crypt Chasers transport, you start making your way towards the Valley of the Dark Lords to start scoping out or recon of the other tombs to identify a possible egress route for the survivors trapped underground. It's at this point, as you're making your way into the valley, you start receiving a semi-broken transmission from Guy on the outlying sector of this sector of the sector.
If she were to use her suit, is there any way she could get a further bird's eye point of view and see if there's any notable protrusions of rock or anything that might resemble another temple at a distance that she could start moving towards?
Well, all the temples are very obvious. It's like a series of almost like pyramids, all just or more like the Aztec ruins. Just pyramids located around each other in a organized fashion. So yeah, you can identify you actually start coordinating with the information that Rawl gave to you in regards to possible egress routes, and you start you identify one temple to the north, more northeastern sector as the possible egress route, and you start making your way there. But it's at this point that's when you start as you're making your way to that temple, Guy starts to reach out.
Dove, can he me?
I read you. You're breaking up a bit, Guy.
We broke long time ago. Long story. Tell you later. Any updates on the crew?
Lost contact a couple hours ago. Suspicious. Starting to move towards the next temple now.
Sir GM.
Yes.
What is now that I have done the trip, the haul, what is the estimate that I know would take me if I were to go back to Korriban?
So you cut the time down. Remember correctly, within sectors, 7 hours, 7 to 12 hours. You cut it down to 8, I believe, with that piloting check. Let me see. Traveling, hyperspace travel times. There we go. Love it when I have put sticky notes. Within a sector, no, that's hyperspace travel. I need sublight travel. From one planet to another within the same start. 6 to 12 hours, yep. So yeah, you cut it, you could potentially cut it down to 6 hours.
All right. Guy would relay. Bess is Med Bay planet 6 hours away. I can try to return back to you as I can.
You've done all you can for him. We should help the ones who are still planetside.
I think Guy has a moment where he hears that. He's basically, this exchange is happening. Guy sort of like passed on Bess at the bottom of the ramp of the ship, and he's just been looking in the direction of the med people taking Bess away. And there's like that hesitation of do I stay? Like, there's a part of him is like, do I stay? Would it matter? Like, could I make a difference if I were to stay here now to potentially help Bess, even though he knows that he's not a medical person himself? And that is overlapping with the concept of Dove relaying that they've been out of contact for like 2 hours, and then he would still need at minimum 6 hours to get back. He has an idea when he hears Dove mention we should help the ones that are planet side. And he sees sort of like the last bit before the Met doctors with Bess, sort of the doors open, they go in, and then the door finally closes. And it's that closing of the door that sort of puts him back into motion. He turns on his heels, starts going back up the ship. And Dove hears, keep me updated as you can. I'll be there as I can. And that's the last thing he says before he just rushes back to the ship.
I'd say
Don't crash.
as you in the final moments that you watch as the medical staff makes their way into the interior, you watch as one of the medical assistants pulls out a rather large syringe, and you just watch him thump it right into the center of the breastbone of Dr. Bess and depress the plunger.
So here's the fun part of what I would like to propose to the GM.
Ooh.
Because this was something that was established in one of the more recent trilogies. I cannot use light speed because I'm too close to the planet. However, a very famous, very skilled pilot named Poe Dameron was known to attempt something called light skipping.
Now, that's not my favorite Star Wars moment.
I know. Now, we can choose to ignore this. You can say no. However, the concept of what I am thinking that Guy may want to attempt to do is, I'm too close to the planet to use light speed. However, I only need to be that much farther away from the planet so that I can come back to it through light speed.
Oh, you're going to try and enter the planet in light speed? The atmosphere of the planet in light speed?
No, what I'm attempting to do is I want to basically light skip further away from the planet. Basically find coordinates further away from the planet that basically are going to make me in light speed in the blink of an eye just travel enough distance that it puts me at the minimum that you need for light speed to not send you crashing through the planet. So he basically wants to slingshot himself through the light travel.
He wants to yeet himself out into space so that he can yeet himself back at Korriban.
Correct. I don't make the rules. I just invent them.
Traveling within a sector through light speed is a 10 to 24 hour endeavor. Usually, you're trying to travel from.
He said sector, not system.
Yeah.
And down the rabbit trail we go.
And that's the minimum. So that's the shortest distance you can do with hyperspace travel. So we can try some fuckery here.
I mean, what is life if not fuckery done and yet to happen?
You're calling it fuckery. It sounds completely sound. Like, I don't find a thing wrong with it.
We can try some fuckery here. I just need you to know there is a very real possibility you can just yeet yourself into a fucking star.
Yeah.
Or into the planet's core.
About to do some lost space shit.
I could
Here we
end up
go.
in the alternate Star Wars universe where Marvel characters are, and then we have a whole new campaign.
Okay.
I'm loving it.
Because yeah, like obviously I'm trying to apply something that is not part of the mechanics of the game.
Right.
The way that I'm thinking it is, light speed sort of puts you in this like alternate space, and it makes you travel faster, longer distances. The concept of light skipping comes in because what I'm attempting to do is I'm not putting the coordinate, like if I'm putting the coordinate from here to Tatooine, I'm not planning on staying in light speed till Tatooine. I'm literally just calculating the time that it would take in light
Jump
speed
here.
to basically be right at the minimum amount that I need in order for me to live speed back
Yeah.
Korriban.
We're already talking about a formidable difficulty as is. I'm just trying to figure out how fucking difficult this formidable difficulty is going to be.
He's trying to rip a hole in space-time. That's what he's doing.
At minimum, this is going to be 3 challenges. You're doing this without any astrogation guidance, so that's going to be at least a setback.
Can I do astrogation before I take off? Especially since, because I mean, Guy is not gonna just blindly. He would prep this, especially if the attempt is I'm trying to do something that would took me 6 hours. I'm trying to make this short.
Okay. Yeah. So this would be some fuckery done with the computer. Okay. I'm gonna give this a hard difficulty for the computer, or for astrogation. You're trying to do something not done before in this time period. So
Poe
astrogation.
If this works, Poe Dameron learned it from me. That's all I'm saying.
Astrogation, hard difficulty. No, this is daunting. This is a daunting difficulty with the challenge of 2. That's what we're going with that. This is not done before. Holy shit!
Wow.
Let's pull up the table, shall we? Hold on. Let's before we start revealing stuff, let's roll up the table here. There we go. All right. We're facing 7 failures just to try and calculate something that's never been done before.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense that it's that fucking bad.
This is a calculation, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I was about to say.
Okay. So, can I make this roll for the astrogation?
Yeah, this is the astrogation, yes.
Can I make this roll with Gal stats, because that's what Gal is for?
Yes, and you can add a boost die to help her.
Okay. So I'm just gonna manually put the dice that because I don't have Gal in the game.
Let's see what droids are. There we are.
I mean, I have a full like a character sheet for her, but I don't think you and I have the same.
She would have an astrogation of 4. So 4 ranks in astrogation, so with an intellect of 2.
Can I use the Gal that I built based on this test?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And I'm going to cash in a light side token.
All right.
Oh, that's not even
Gonna
close.
roll some force tokens.
Hmm?
Gonna roll some force tokens as well. Come on. I know you
What?
got some force
Force?
in you.
I don't know. No, guy doesn't have force, other than, you know, the whatever's watching over him, which clearly
Okay.
not watching too much right now.
You try and calculate. You come up with this idea to try to jump without actually jumping, and you try and formulate some type of plausible formula to try and make it work. The computer just does not does not seem to agree with the formula, and does not and is unable to plot this course out for you. You can still attempt it,
Mm-hmm.
but this will be a blind jump.
Fuck it, we ball.
Oh my fucking god!
Oh.
I'm so terrified about this.
We're doing this after Dove specifically says don't crash.
Okay.
I mean, technically speaking, I'm not planning on crashing. More like I probably just become the core of a new planet or something. Who knows? It's not
this
really
is-
crashing, is there's no evidence.
Just ceases to exist.
Just cease to exist. Just disintegrate in space.
Formidable difficulty with Challenger 3.
Just Star-Lord's father.
This is a blind jump, so a setback. Yeah, that's a. I'm so fucking terrified right now. Here we go.
You can do it. Oh no!
Hey, I mean,
Two failures, 6 threats, 1 despair.
You
Okay.
could pass.
you could pass, but something's going to happen.
There's gonna be some
I mean,
bad
I
shit
could
that
only
goes
expect
down.
for something to happen after attempting.
This is the
something like
first
this.
attempt to do something that has never been done before.
Yeah.
Of course, something bad's going to happen.
Like,
Might
come
I
on.
remind you that Guy brought not his company ship, his personal ship for this mission.
Personal.
Fuck.
He's about to have 2 personal ships, but technically it's 2 halves.
Oh my god.
Or he takes over a fleet. Who knows?
I'm so fucking terrified right now.
Flying through a fleet.
And they're
This
all
is like the
Right.
best. This is like the best outcome we could have hoped for.
honestly.
All right, so
Take another. Oh,
Ah!
oh, oh my god!
wait, it didn't show up on my end.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god!
You're fine.
I see it.
I
now.
don't know about fine.
I'm not gone.
Yeah,
That's
so
enough.
this is successful.
You aren't
got-
immediately dead. That's
It is
all.
net 3 successes, but also net 3 threats and a despair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! All right. So back on Korriban.
Tarzan,
Very well.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
that you get there.
Holy fuck. Poe Dameron got this idea from a guy named Hawkbat somewhere in the galaxy. That's fucking
look-
nuts.
I look forward to
He
Chap
was a
getting.
legend in pilots.
I look forward to Chap hearing on his comm. Hey, on your left.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
motherfucker.
As you impact into the freaking
I literally went through the left side of the planet. You just see me in slow motion, like the ship just shows up in the tunnel. I'm like,
whatever ancient eldritch monstrosity that we're about to deal with is about to like lay in the roll, and then just Hawkbat comes through.
just ram through it, just ram
Oh.
through the thing, and just hey
Well-
guys, hi.
That was the BBEG.
That is
Awesome. Hi, Hawkeye.
insane.
Talk about.
That is so fucking insane. I can't believe we pulled this fuckery off. That is wild. All right. Dove, you start making your way into the tomb of Naga Sadao, the northeast tomb. Oh my god. That stressed me out.
Don't use your force powers.
Jesus fuck. Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you make your way into the interior antechamber and start plotting a possible route out for the survivors. 2 failures, 3 threats to beat. That's nuts.
2 successes, 1 advantage.
Oof. Okay. You start looking around the temple or the antechamber to try and identify any trap hidden levers or buttons that that you witnessed the Crypt Chasers located back in the tomb of Darth Bane. Unfortunately, you're not able to find anything at the moment. But it's at this point in time, because as you've been doing this, you've also been monitoring any activity on the holo map of the survivors down below, and it's at this point you see the signal or the life forms of 7 individuals racing through a tunnel that hasn't been previously mapped before. You see these 7 life forms barreling down this tunnelway, little ways underground, but in the direction of the tomb that you're currently positioned at right now.
Does that number coincide with who I recall was left from the Crypt Chasers?
You're missing 2 people. Missing 3 people. Sorry.
That's fine.
It's at this point you are. You can also get a pretty solid feed or connection to Ego through comms. A little rocky, but for the most part, readable.
What? If you pick Duff.
I heard you the first time, Ego.
Oh,
You alright?
no.
Let me rephrase. Are you alive and mostly stable?
I am sure. Stable, questionable. I have with me the majority of the Crypt Chasers. We unfortunately lost one along there were traps, there were blades swinging so fast. Unfortunately, because Chav and Rawl are not with us. They stayed down in the tombs to look for something. I don't know. Where are you? Come get us. Come get me, specifically.
I would say you would also probably be hearing the squelching of insectoid-like creatures in the background as Ego and the Crypt Chasers are currently fleeing a hive right now. They got a good headway, but the chlor slugs are in hot pursuit of them.
Ego, less talking, more running. I hear something squelchy coming behind you, and I don't.
Do you think I don't hear it? It's quite loud on my side. Thank you so much.
I'm sure. Ego, sorry, not Ego. Uno, bring about transport. And then she's going to drop her location basically, so they can.
Understood, Master. Bringing around shuttle.
We're being
Statement.
efficient. Someone
Will
needs
we be shooting things today, Master?
Most likely. Sounds like really big insects from Ego's end.
Elated statement. Oh, joy. I have been dying to shoot something today, Master.
You and me both. There you go.
You watch as we watch as the Echo Selene begins to take off and reposition itself overhead to a fire support position as Dove remains on the ground in the interior of the antechamber. You start scouting a certain sector of the temple or the tomb now that you have a general idea of what direction they could be coming from. Let's give you another. Well, do we have an investigation? Let's see. Let's do. Let's do Streetwise. Let's do a Streetwise check this time. Hard difficulty. Try and guesstimate where a hidden trapdoor would be.
About right.
Nice.
Oh, two successes, one advantage.
Very nice. You begin feeling along the wall. You're feeling along the south exterior wall. Feeling under crevice, in between cracks in the bricks or in the stonework. You come up to a spider's nest and you go to reach in. One does a cluster of spiders immediately burst out and disperse along the wall. That's what the 3 threats were for. But you don't take. You managed to pull. Actually, you're wearing an armored gauntlet. They wouldn't have been able to bite you.
I'm not bothered.
You just see one scurry up. And then you, as the cluster disperses, you reach in. You feel what appears to be some type of button, and you depress it, and you hear as the stonework shifts. And then before you, a 10-foot wide opening is presented. Within this door, this revealed door appears to be a tunnel that begins to descend immediately towards the direction of where you currently see the life forms on your map are positioned. With that, do you begin descending, or you're going to wait for them to come up to you? What's the plan?
Does it seem like the tunnel either widens or gets like more narrow the further down it goes?
This one's more. What's it called? Structured. These are intentionally carved so they maintain their uniformity. So it's a the door frame. The door itself is about 10 feet wide. However, the descending staircase, the diameter of this is about 15 feet wide.
Okay. Which would place me sort of above anything coming up.
Yeah.
Dove will inform Ego. Doors open. How many in pursuit exactly? As she readies her rifle to take pot shots if need be.
Can you count that fast?
Is it more than 20?
Oh, you could roughly say yeah. You can confidently say yes.
A lot. It's a lot. Like they fill the sides of the. Just have your gun. Have your gun.
I'll have my gun ready. It's fine. We have auto fire. I can use it now.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. For context, they have behind them a hive of at least 50 chlor slugs. So you watch as they begin to barrel their way towards you. It takes about I'd say about 30 minutes. There's periods where they do slow down a little bit because Ego's travel. Well, Ego's probably maintaining their speed, but the Crypt Chasers have to slow down on occasion because they are not athletic. They get tired easy. I'm not. You could slow down for them if you want to, but they are definitely slowing you down.
Ego, well, Rawl gave Ego the Slug Blaster pistol, so I have that, and my what do I have? I don't even know anymore. What can I? I'm just shooting behind with the Light Blaster pistol and the Slug Thrower pistol. If you don't hurry up, there won't be enough of you left to find.
Sindhu, look, all of them look disheveled. They're exhausted. You guys have been running for well over an hour at this point. Everybody, and they're all carrying various size of gear. Actually, some of them probably would have dropped a couple crates just to ease their burden. But the Honduras and Zeke would have kept their beam drills because that's their only line of defense at close proximity. So yeah, you see those two just carrying these big mining tools. It's basically a space jackhammer, and it's not fucking light. And they have a power source that they have to wear on their back. So it's like it's not easy. So they're just like just fucking heaving. You guys have been on the run for a good hour and a half at this point. You do see at this juncture the pathway before you begins to elevate or rise. Up ahead, you all will just actually give me a perception check. Hard difficulty with the setback with how much those little critters behind you are squelching at you, trying to eat you. 2 failures, 2 threats.
I'm so sorry. I completely spaced out. What did you ask me to roll?
Perception, sorry.
Thanks.
No worries.
I was asked to roll something.
Nice. Well, you don't see it, but you can hear the faint sound off in the distance ahead. What sounds like the sound of stone grinding. And that's when you get the communique from Dove that she's waiting ahead of you. And that whole exchange takes place. This kind of incentivizes you to move even faster as you direct the rest of the Crypt Chasers. Salvation ahead. Do not stop. You guys just fucking move it. The passageway does begin to narrow as you come up to this juncture where it leads up to. Let's go ahead and show you guys where you're at. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Welcome to the way out. Activate. All right. Let's see. Let me see if I can show you again. Let's do this. So duplicate this tab and join this table as a player. So that way I don't have to reveal all of my shit. All of my secrets. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And I'll share this. There we go. Present. Share screen. And Foundry. There we are. There we go. Yep. That's not what I want. There we go. Remove all this bullshit. What is this? Remove. Add to stage. There we go. And then here we are. And then here we are. And then here we are. There we go. Okay.
We
So-
made it.
You're currently racing down a flight of stairs with the chlor slugs crawling, just clawing their way towards you. You just hear this, the cacophonous squelching and claws grinding against stone, this gurgling noises as they are drawing near. The tunnel begins to narrow a little bit, but opens up at the far end as it begins to ascend. With that perception check, yeah, you're good. You just race your way across. You go, shot. There we go. Oh yeah, I'm not the player. That's why. Let's switch over. Let's see if it reveals anything. What am I doing here? Oh, I'm breaking the table. Okay. I can't do it. Oh well, fuck it. Can't move the table or the tokens for you, but you guys just make your way down this sector, splashing past this pool of built-up water at the edges of the cavern, and begin your ascension up. By this point, the cooler slugs are hot on your heels. They begin to make their way, spilling down this this flight of stairs as you guys make your way up. Only seconds away from you. Any trip up or hesitation now, and you all will be overrun. With that, you guys make your way upstairs, up this long flight of stairs, as you can see light piercing the darkness ahead. As you ascend, the light is broken up by the dark silhouette of a armored figure standing at the threshold. You can see an elongated tube-like structure or object in this person's arms, and you come to the reasonable assumption that this is your savior, Dove, standing by. Dove, you spot as Ego is the first to make visual contact with you, the team of the Crypt Chasers making their way up the stairs. You can hear, you can't see them just yet, the chlor slugs that have just reached the stairwell's entryway. Ego and Crypt Chasers, I need athletics checks from you guys as you make your way up these stairs.
I'm gonna say Ego, seeing Dove up there, is going to hang to the side and try to let the Crypt Chasers as much run past, because he does have some weapons. If you can just hold them off a second if needed, we'll do
All
that.
right, no worries. This is here's the difficulty. Hard difficulty with the setback, as you guys have been consistently running for over an hour and a half, and some of y'all are exhausted.
Athletics, you say?
Yes.
Ooh.
That's 3 failures, 1 threat to beat for everyone.
Let me see, what can I do to that? It's not good.
The fucking miners get a second wind as they see salvation ahead of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. This has never worked, but I'm gonna do works like a charm to try and buff this up, because my brawn is 2, so my athletics is not good, but my presence is 4, so let's increase that. Boop. And roll. Thank God. I don't fail at least.
Technically, it's still a failure, but you do have an advantage.
You fail upwards.
Yes.
Hmm.
I only had 2 dice, so that's what I mean with the 4. It's better than it would have been.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and reveal the chlor slugs. So they are going to kind of get up to you a little bit, but you're able to start shooting at them, and in fact, it's by this point the Crypt Chasers, as you step aside to let them pass by, you watch them all just dig down and develop the second wind as they fucking sprint up these stairs past you. You're like heaving with how much running you've had to do, and then all of a sudden these guys just leave you in the dust, and that kind of catches you by surprise. You're like, where the fuck was this at? And yeah, they make their way up. Dove, you watch as 5 of the members of the Crypt Chasers rush past you. Is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 5. Nope, the Chargon is dead. Let's get rid of him. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 surviving members of the Crypt Chasers come barreling past you. There we go. And Ego steps aside to let them pass and is caught by surprise as they just seem to develop this second one out of nowhere. But you see, as Ego is watching them run past, the chlor slugs catch up and they get within striking distance of Ego, and that's when you open fire. Go ahead and you guys give me a series of combat checks, and I'm going to have Ego give me one more athletics check as you race for your life out of these stairs.
What distance are we at?
This would be long distance currently for you. Oh my god.
Well, I can't do that thing again, so it's just 2 die.
You can cash in a light side for an additional proficiency.
I suppose. Okay. Probably need it.
That'll give you more chances to succeed.
So do I click the one with the arrow?
The arrow up, yes.
Yes, okay. I know how to play this game.
No worries. Hey! That's not good.
No. It's not. I'm not strong and very tired.
Okay. It's fine for right now. Ego, they are going to get a swipe at you. However, it's going to be a hard... this is engaged. I'm going to add... Depending on how bad of a hit it is, I'll add some setback die. But Ego or Dove, go ahead and get me that combat check.
It's the slug one, eh?
The chlor slug, yes.
Sweet.
Change the mood here.
Interesting. That was 0 successes, 1 advantage, unfortunately. Did I build the pool content?
Oh man.
Okay.
Oh
How
boy.
does the auto fire feature work? I've never actually used it before.
So auto fire increases the difficulty of your combat check by 1. but every additional success that you have, every auto fire activates. Increase difficulty of attack checks by the difficulty may trigger multiple times to generate additional hits. So you have to spend 2 advantages to get additional hits.
Okay, I see.
But anytime you do a combat check with the auto feature applied, add 1 difficulty die to that pool. You just have to call out the auto feature whenever you do, so that way I know that you're doing that. Other than that first attack, there's no hits.
Anyone opposed to me using a light token? So you all don't get swarmed?
Fair, you can reroll one ability die as a proficiency.
Okay, I will do that. That's one of the yellow dice.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's try that. We've got literally nothing to lose. 1 success, 1 advantage.
Okay, that gives you 1 success. All right, and then that gives you 2 advantages. You have 2 advantages to spend to get a secondary hit.
I will do that. Would I just be rolling again?
No. It's already counted as a second hit. So instead of the 12 damage, on a success, it's 1 plus the damage. So 12 plus 1, 13. So you got a 13 damage on the first hit. Second hit is also another 13. So you land a shot for a total of 36 points of wounds.
Plus 5 for one of those. With deadly accuracy.
Ooh, plus 5 to the first hit.
Sorry. Plus 5 to the first hit with deadly accuracy. Yeah.
Nice.
And I think if barrage is a passive, it is an additional +2, so technically +7 because we are at long range. Let me double check.
Oh fuck!
Pretty sure it's a passive. I'm pretty sure it's a passive because I put it there. Deadly accuracy is passive. Yes. Assassin. Where is my barrage?
That's a skill, right?
Yes, it is a passive. Yeah.
Okay. So +2 on all weapon checks conducted at long and extreme range. That's right. So, and then it's also a pierce of 2. That's automatically applied. I'm remembering that correctly. Pierce is a passive. Yes, it is. So yeah, automatically applied. So you ignore 2 points of soak. You get +2 to that first to the both hits. So that's 13 plus 2. 26. Now 28. No, 40. 40 points.
That's
plus 5.
Damage.
45. 45 points of wounds. Ignore 4 points of soak.
That's a lot of damage.
4 points of soak. Removed from 40 points. That's 38 wounds. All right, there you go. How to do math here. Sorry for the pause. 38 wounds. Let's do this. There we go. You just fucking cut down 9 of these fucking slugs.
You go move your head to the left. My left. Right.
You just hear this auto blaster power cell spool up, and then you just see these core slugs just as they begin to pile up and slow down this hive barreling towards you. You see one like getting ready to lash down at you with its appendage, and as it does, it just gets blasted in the center mass, causing its appendage to whip back. It takes 2 more to the central midsection, and then 1 blaster bolt just barrels through its gaping maw, and blows out the back, and it falls lifeless over top of you. You take this moment as a sign, you turn and bolt. I'm gonna give them a 1 attack. Engaged. I'm gonna make this a hard. Let's go daunting, since they're going against a fucking flurry of blaster bolts. And I'll give them setback to it as well. Oh shit. Is knockdown passive? Oh boy. Target's not. Oh no,
Tarzan's gonna kill me.
requires two advantages to activate. Okay. Ensnare. Oh shit, no, ensnare automatically happens. Oh fuck. Okay. You're ensnared for 3 You're ensnared for 3 rounds. You're gonna have to connect a hard athletics check to try and break free, but you are knocked prone. So you see this one quarter slug that was about to strike at you go down, and as you turn to barrel to race up the stairs, another one reaches out from the side and grabs you by the leg and knocks you on your stomach, and you feel as its appendage clamps down on your leg and does 10 points of wounds.
Hey, so my soak is 4, so that's 6?
Correct. 6 points of wounds. And you are now ensnared for 3 rounds unless you break free. Go ahead and Ego, give me your choice of action. Either break free or shoot and try and break free through that means, or what's your plan?
Shooting. It's very unlikely that break free.
Okay.
Break free.
Okay, this is engaged range. Go ahead and make that. Make sure you give yourself the prone and immobilized condition on your character sheet, and that should automatically apply.
Okay, give myself
The conditions are at the top of your character sheet.
at the top. Got it. Disoriented, prone, and immobilized. Oh,
Not,
good.
not disoriented. You're just prone
Yeah.
and immobilized.
No, I was just hovering over them to see what they said they were.
Oh, gotcha.
So if something is a medium, if something is a medium ranged weapon, I can use it in engaged.
Correct.
Okay.
You just can't use it outside of the medium range.
Cool. I don't target anyone. Can I also? Oh, I can do 2 weapon combat.
Yes, you can. Increases the difficulty based off of whatever weapon that is. If it requires the same skill, then it only increases the difficulty by 1.
Okay.
If it's 2 different
does.
weapons, it's the same skill?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It should automatically apply the difficulty in that case.
Okay. What is the difficulty?
If you select the target, it should give you
Oh, the target. Where is
pool.
the Chavisto. Chlor slug. There we go.
Yep.
And build. Okay. Ew.
Okay. You can select the range.
I don't know the buttons.
No, you're good. So when you go to build your pool,
Mhm.
so you select the weapon, you select engage range and the target, and then build pool, and then it'll tell you, and then also the 2 weapon combat selection, and then build pool, and it'll give you a difficulty of at that range. That being said, it's a hard difficulty, so let's just roll that. There we go. You succeed. That's a hit. You succeed with 1, so that's 6 points of wounds. You have no advantages. And no other features for the slug thrower. Slug thrower doesn't have any features? It's not piercing?
I didn't see any.
Oh, it does not have any features. Holy shit. You'd think it'd be a pierce weapon. Very strange. Okay.
Listen, Raw gave it to me.
So you would need 2 advantages in order to get an additional hit with utilizing the 2 weapon feature. So unfortunately, you don't have any advantages to go in on. So you do get hit with a blaster pistol, which is 5 plus 1, so 6 points of wounds. That is going to count towards their soak of 3, so 3 points of wounds. There we go. However, you drop them. You drop them. Nice work. So yeah, you get knocked onto your stomach. You turn around quick with your quick reaction. You blast once with a pistol, once with your slug thrower, and the slug thrower goes wide. However, the blaster pistol impacts dead center in the maw, and the creature goes limp and slumps over. Your limb is now, or your leg is free, and you can use your movement to get back up and get going. That being said, Dove, go ahead and give me another combat check to slow down the core slugs to get Ego some distance. Still long range from you.
I would still like to use Autofire, if possible.
Use the what?
I would still like to use the Autofire feature if possible.
Gotcha.
Since there's large numbers of them.
Yeah. Go ahead and make sure to select the target. Once you build the pool, add 1 more difficulty die.
Oh, sorry, I didn't add the difficulty before you said. I'll do that now.
You got a triumph. That's good. Okay. Okay. So unfortunately, that's a miss. You do have a triumph in your pocket.
Can I use that for?
Let me use that.
It's been a hot minute. I forgot what I can use triumphs for.
You got 2 successes. What? So you have 3 failures. Three successes. Okay, so that doesn't work. Let's see, what can we do? You can add a boost die. Inflict a critical. You have to succeed the attack in order to inflict a critical injury. Activate a weapon quality, but you still have to hit in order to trigger the auto feature. I would just save that triumph until you do hit the next time.
Okay, that's fine.
That way you can get as many additional hits as you want. But for the time being, you just let loose a volley of shots. I'll say with that triumph, without actually costing you the triumph, it does slow them down for a moment.
Yeah, that's fine. That's something.
Which buys Ego some time. Ego, go ahead and give me 1 more athletics check. I'll give you a boost die now that the threat has been slowed down. Oh my god.
Tight.
What's with you in athletics checks and me rolling high on difficulty?
Because somewhere in the core of you, Tarzan, you want Ego dead.
Good luck there, buddy.
I am actually going to. I was trying not to use anything related to anything with the Force, but we're beyond the time now, so I'm going to use Touch of Fate to give myself 2 more boost die.
Ooh. I like it. It's not like you're going to be on the planet much longer anyway, so you guys are getting out of here as soon as possible.
To translate, the DM just said, "It doesn't matter. You're gonna be dead soon."
I still didn't succeed.
Oh, take that light side token.
Oh god.
Do it.
Reroll that proficiency die.
Drink him. That will actually prevent yourself from being stricken down.
I what's gonna happen with y'all down in the depths?
Do not worry about
What's gonna happen?
us.
Acceptance.
Oh,
Acceptance
God.
is going to happen.
Do not speak. The
I mean,
dark
unless I get
magics.
I did get 2 successes.
Hey.
Nice.
I do it.
Go live another day.
You dig deep and
That's
down and to the very fiber of your essence, and you sprint the rest of the way up the stairwell, rushing past Ego or Dove, who just unleashes a torrent of blaster volleys. Go ahead, Ego or Dove, give me one more combat check against them, as they are still at long distance from you, as they were slowed down by the initial volley. Let's see how many more you can take out before the door closes. As you
I would just like to say, I'm so proud of Ego. Ego, bestest boy.
Oh my
How's
god!
Right.
My autopilot.
Oh, with that triumph, please. Thank you.
With
You're
that
gonna,
trial.
you're gonna cash in that triumph to get the additional hit. All
Yeah,
right.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so +2 to the damage for barrage. That's 19. +5 for the first hit. That's 24. Plus 17. 40. 44? 43.
43, I think.
43. 43 points of wounds. That's fucking crazy. 43 points of wounds minus 2. Nope, minus 1. So that's 42 points of wounds. You just stacked up. Holy shit. 42 points of wounds. That's 8 total. 81 or 83. You just got down like 15 more of these fucking things. That was just fucking.
Intimidation check.
I would also like to say, I'm proud of Dove.
That barrel's just.
I'll be down there with you guys.
That barrel is glowing red hot as Dove is just fucking mowing these down like it's a regular Tuesday.
A legitimate question: most animals, when they start to smell the dead of their own kind, they start to not want to be there?
Well, these are unintelligent insectoids, and you'd probably see them start to get distracted and start consuming their own dead. So you'd see some of them stop and there's food right here. Start to eat.
That sounds to me like less that are trying to kill people. So,
as this is as she's unleashing this torrent, she or before she started shooting, Dov, you activate the switch again to start closing the stone the door to keep them from getting out. The door begins to descend. You start opening fire and cut through these chlor slugs like nothing, unleashing so many volleys that your barrel of your blaster rifle begins to glow red hot. After a moment, after the door slides into position to a point where you have reasonable belief that they can't get out, you take a couple steps back and stop firing, allowing your barrel to cool off before it starts to melt. And the door comes to a complete stop. On the other side, you can hear the faint sound of squelching and claws grinding against stone as they come up to the threshold of the door and try to inspect and find their way through, to no avail. The crypt chasers behind you, panting heavily as this is the most exercise they've gotten in decades, probably. Ego probably clutching to your side, utilizing you as like a shield between him and those fucking slugs. You guys successfully escaped the tunnels while being pursued by these creatures, and you can finally breathe a moment of relief, a sigh of relief, being outside of those tunnels. Cramp. Oh man. Well done. That being said, the gravity of the situation seems to be alleviated for the time being. However, the rest of this story is going to be diced. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back, you lovely motherfuckers. I'm your Galaxy Master, and I forgot that I ought to also do announcements because I'm goofy like that. I was excited to get back to the story. That being said, well, everybody else is returning. We do not have anything lined up as of yet for the other campaigns. The dates are to be announced at this point. However, I believe, let's take a look at the calendar here. We have not announced. I believe we're supposed to do a bi-weekly schedule with Frontiers of Erebon, but Michael hasn't confirmed with me yet on the next date. So currently projected, what do we know the next date? 19th? Not the 19th.
No, if anything, it would be the 15th.
15th?
But that's Father's Day, so I don't know if that's going to impact things.
I would imagine, yeah.
So tentatively the 15th, maybe after that. But from what I understand, we do have on the 19th Tales of Varden.
Ooh, yes, Tales of Arden. That's right. We did lock in Tales of Arden. We just haven't gotten anything else locked in yet. So Tales of Arden, this month on the 19th, we return to your wonderful pirate crew. And Edge of the Empire returns on every week Tuesday. And just be on the lookout for the tentative dates of Dimensional Dial and Frontiers of Erebon when we can get a confirmation of their next episode. Other than that, we do have a special treat currently in the works for you as to what the whereabouts and activities are of Oho, the Wandering Jedi, maybe? I don't know. We'll confirm or deny that when we release those episodes on YouTube. So be on the lookout for that. We will announce that the day we start releasing those episodes here on our next stream. That being said, let's go ahead and get back to the story where we last left off with Chav and Raw. Let me get the perfect sound for us here.
Alexa, start playing Duel of Fates.
Da, da, da. Da, 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 da.
You don't have to, Just.
All right.
Alexa, start playing March of the Dead.
Within the tomb, I like to say the Tomb of Evil. It's not necessarily the actual name, but we'll call it that for now until I give it a cooler name.
Applicable enough.
Applicable enough for sure. Chav and Rawl, you find yourself standing at the precipice of the stairway leading down to the central chamber of this tomb. Before you lays a desiccated body. Rawl, you recall this vision that was given to you a day prior. As you look at the positioning of this body, you look further ahead. You see two more strewn across at the center courtyard. Off to the left, you spot another. You find two more at the furthest end of the tomb. The pyres at the far end ignite with bright, vibrant red flames. As it does, you see what appears to be some type of smoke billowing out from the threshold of the gilded gate on the far side of this chamber. The body of one individual hanging limply from the sarcophagus in the center chamber, or center of the room, arm still within the confines of the sarcophagus that he seemed to have been pillaging at one point. as you inspect the body closest to you, the dust surrounding this body seems to be recent. What do you do?
I'm sorry, you said that it looked like somebody died pillaging this tomb?
His hand inside the sarcophagus.
The tomb that we needed to use the Force to open?
Correct.
Would you like to conduct a perception check?
Yes,
like
I
to
would.
leave.
Go ahead and give.
Remind you, there are several core slugs back there.
I'll
go
take
ahead.
my chances at this point.
Give me a average perception check. I got the difficulty rolling now.
Okay. I'm pulling down my visor. My macro binoculars. Where are they?
That would be correct.
Yeah. And I can see like infrared and like the other versions of sight. So is that perception?
Yes.
Macro binoculars of omens. Give me sight beyond sight.
Give me sight beyond sight. Oh! Fuck.
Well, you have two advantages.
Two advantage.
They're both telling you to leave.
Are you rolling one as well, Chav?
I suppose I should.
Might as well.
At the
Don't
very
want
least, I'll
to
see what
die.
kills me.
Oh, you did it. Good job, buddy.
I don't wanna. Don't tell me.
Rawl, you begin to step further into the chamber to inspect with your goggles.
I did not. No. At the threshold, I did not go inside.
Which is probably why you failed.
Probably. Chav then would have probably stepped forward to try and get a better look to what he's faced with.
The minimum necessary to accumulate one total success.
I'd say just about right there it would put you right about there.
I'm trusting
Rawl,
you as I cannot see the map.
You're fine.
I didn't step inside because I didn't want anything that is force reactant to react to me stepping inside. So if Chad went forward, it would be
Homie, you used the Force
Probably.
to open the door.
correct. So therefore,
We're already
things here
screwed.
react before.
We're already
Okay,
screwed.
well,
Just
what do-
hold my hand.
Slow me down. No, so that being said, let me pull up there we go. That being said, all right, you guys can see it good. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm not upset about that position. That's not too terrible.
Come on, don't do this to me now.
Actually, now I see as you've scrolled down that is stepping past a body, and I'm less okay.
There we go. All right, let's try this again since this thing's being funky with me. Your screen.
Time now.
Okay. Try this again. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, you had to step a little bit further past as Rawl's currently fucking with his goggles and isn't paying attention.
Yep.
You see at the furthest northern corner a faint bit of light. As you see that light, you look up towards the ceiling. There seems to be a cave-in or some type of demolitions conducted that and climbing rope dropped down. They seem to have burrowed their way into this chamber and climbed down into the chamber. These bodies appear to be pirates of sorts, or smugglers of some kind. The torches behind you ignite, and Rawl, as you're looking down, fucking with your goggles, trying to get its power on, you... Alright, stop sharing. I'm gonna need somebody else to share so I can manipulate my stuff.
To manipulate.
I cannot pull it up. Can you resend the link?
Yeah, give me 1 second. You don't take notice to the sound of of shifting crates and the sound of feet rushing past you. As a human man rushes past the stack of crates, get the fuck out of my way! And rushes through the doorway. Rushes up to the doorway. You spin around, summoning your axes in hand to address him. And as you do, you see him frozen in place. And as you're seeing him from behind, you watch as his color is drained from him. His ashy brown, his dirty brown hair transitions from that dark, lush brown to a silvery gray. The hair begins to fall out. His flesh, pale and supple, begins to stretch and dry as it clings to the bone. He had an athletic build. The muscle deteriorates and retracts until what stands before you is a desiccated corpse as he falls to the ground. A pile of stretched skin and bone. Standing on the other side, another desiccated body. But you watch as the sinew and muscle fibers begin to regenerate. The gray skin begins to take on a color of crimson as the fibers of muscle begin to fill with life once more and grow. The milky white eyes transition from that lifeless white milky color to the vibrant crimson eyes that you saw once before in your dreams, in your visions. Hair begins to regrow for a moment. Long, shoulder-length black hair slicked back. Cartilage protrusions begin to grow in the eyebrows, the jawline. These vermin sought to raid my tomb. Who do you bring with you? slave, or offering? As he raises a desiccated hand pointing at Chav. Chav, you spin around as you hear this ancient voice. This being stands 6 foot 4 inches tall. You watch as the muscle fibers begin to reinvigorate and grow, as if blood being pumped into the body. His grayed skin returning to a dark crimson color. Eyes transition from that milky white of a dead body to a piercing red. Protrusions begin to grow from his face, and hair, elongated fangs. Vision of nightmares. Let's go to that table, yeah, there we go. And I will show you a visage of what you see.
Or not.
NPC here, thank you.
I'm just going to remind everybody
Pretty
that
good.
I did specify during last session that Chav did relieve himself before they head out, so he does not poop or piss himself. There's nothing in the tank.
This is just a temporary placeholder for the final form of this guy, or for the whenever I do get a actual workup of this guy.
That's raw. Oh, okay. Why does he look like that? He's got a comb over. Oh no! Why does it keep reloading? I'm sorry.
Advar, where are you? There we go. Ah, there we go. Okay. Okay, assets. Let's fix that. Okay.
Let's go away.
Let's go with a 10 by 10. So you can get all up in your face. There we go. Okay. Are you ready to see who stands before you?
No.
That's not right. Oh, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Fleet Mister.
He is a giant man.
Need the token updated. There he is. Sign. Update. Try again. There we go.
Oh, that's even worse. Bring the other guy back, please and thanks.
Adorned in an ancient ceremonial armor, this crimson-skinned individual with these flesh-like protrusions from the face addresses you, Chav, as slave or offering, as he turns his attention to Rawl.
Is there any chance that we can go for a secret third thing?
Silence, slave.
Chav attempts to do the thing that is hardest for him, which is shut the fuck up.
I'd recommend not talking to my companion like that.
You watch as he begins to seethe for a moment.
I'd
As
like to position myself behind Rawl.
As he does, you watch that same reinvigoration that he just, that constitution that he just summoned, begins to regress. The piercing red begins to slowly fade into the white. he seems to be weakening for a moment. I don't have much time. You come seeking knowledge and power. Follow me.
The door that's behind him, is that like leaking force power right now, or is that just smoke?
The door at the far end of the chamber is, you don't know what it is. It just seems to be some type of billowing smoke or something like that. The door behind you, which is where Ketvar currently is interposed, as he's is currently opened, but as he says, "Follow me," the doors behind him close. As he strides past you, in between you and, or past you and Chav. His gait, at first powerful, confident. The more life force that leaves him, the more disheveled his gait becomes. He becomes creaky as he makes his way towards his sarcophagus. You can hear the sound of bones grinding against each other as the cartilage in between the joints begins to deteriorate. You're watching as his life force is fleeting again. But he stops at the foot of his sarcophagus, waves his hand over it, and at the foot, or out of the side paneling of his sarcophagus, you can hear the sound of stone shifting. As he overturns his hand and raises his palm to the air, you see as two obsidian cylinders decorated in gold filigree raised from the sarcophagus. They hover over to above his palm and descend gently into his hand. His bony extremities wrap around fiercely around these cylinders as he extends them, turning to you. Here is my boon to you. Take this offering. I must replenish my strength. With this, you will gain a fragment of my power. Become my harbinger.
Whispering. Hey, Ral, I don't think harbinger is a good title to have. Just saying.
The last remaining red left in his eyes dashes or pierces into your soul, Chav, as you can feel his aggression piercing through you. But his time is limited and he returns his focus to Raw. I do not have much time. Take what I have to offer.
Ego. As soon as this guy says this, you probably feel a ripple in the connection that we had forged before I went down this way. You feel like as soon as like those core slugs were shot down by Dove, you feel in the pit of your stomach a shift in the force as this important question has been offered, and Raw's thinking about it. You probably feel him grip onto the connection with you as he reaches out for these orbs. And
They're not orbs, it's cylinders. The elongated.
are there the cylinders? Yes.
You know, like the cylinders, like handles, maybe.
Correct.
Perhaps.
From a dramatic effect, let's put cut bar back up on the page, shall we? There we
You don't
go.
have to. Oh.
There we go. He's demanding sacrifice, yes?
No.
No?
He asked
He's
if I
just-
was a sacrifice.
Okay.
But he's not dwelling on that. He's more focused on the fleeting moments he has left.
Okay.
You can see at this point in time dust beginning to spill out between the joints of his knuckles. He's holding on, but his time is limited.
I am just like how I saw that doctor get crushed inside the holocron. I'm going to reach out as I'm reaching out for this boon. I'm going to reach out with the force to try to contain the energy that I feel here and crush it into itself.
Are you reaching physically?
Correct.
Having no perception of the force whatsoever, Chav is literally just going to say, "Raul, no."
Mm. But if we don't take this, it could be used against us in the future.
Honestly, somebody here doesn't really know too much about playing cards because they showed their whole hand when they said he doesn't have much time left. So let him fucking rot.
He's going to be gone either way.
I'd prefer the way that doesn't involve you becoming a harbinger. I would rather you did not harbinge. There will be no harbinging in Core Atlas.
Two blades ignite.
Yeah.
The blades begin to levitate from his hand once again as one points its tip at Chav, inching closer to him. The other pointed at Raw. Take it, or sustain me.
Oof. How about a third option?
We like a secret third thing.
And with saying that, Raw uses his movement to summon his vibro axe to his hand and takes a swipe at the hovering blade in front of Chav.
If I see Raul move aggressively, Chav is raising the pistol to also shoot the hilt of that lightsaber.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Here we go. Let's go there.
Yeah, you know what? In the private chat, these things have been down here for who knows how long. Why shouldn't they be out of batteries? Don't they have like battery acid buildup and stuff? They should be exploding in his hand, honestly.
That's ridiculous. I love it. All right. So
It's not ridiculous. That happens.
I need my. Let's go. Oh. General. Where is my
We click on
force sensitives? Let's go this one.
I really wish I could just, push button and drop the training weight so I didn't have a setback die.
Here we go. All right. I got my NPC. Nope, not that one. I need. Oh, there he is. We're going to use Forsaken Jedi as a current placeholder for Ketvar. And you take a shot at his lightsaber. And as Rawl takes a swipe.
Oh.
And while I take a shot,
Go ahead and make. This would be engaged range for you, Chav. Actually, it's an engaged range for both of you. However, this is a silhouette of 0 versus a silhouette of 1. What silhouette is? No, it's 2 or 1. I think 2 or 1. Let's double check. Silhouettes. Combat. Actions. Maneuvers. Actually, I think it's only a factor if it's 2 silhouettes or more. So yeah. Being that this is an item, so it's a engaged range, normal, the usual difficulty for engaged range, but because it's a item you're specifically targeting as opposed to a person, I'm going to impose 2 setback die to the difficulty to try and damage the weapon itself.
am I allowed to declare true aim?
What would that do? And what?
Give me 2 more proficiency die instead of ability die. Upgrade the skill twice. That's the correct terminology.
Is that an action or pass
That is a
the
maneuver.
maneuver? I'll allow it.
Okay. It's because I'm going to die anyway. Come on, Chev. I fucking hit it. I fucking hit it.
What am I targeting?
Easily damaged.
Just
Just roll the roll.
yeah, just build a pool. I don't have anything built yet. So you get 1.
All right, here you go. Oh, fuck me.
Plus 2 setback die.
Why do I never?
All right, Rawl, you swipe the blade maneuvers out of the path of the Vibroaxe. However, Chav, you anticipate its trajectory and manage to fire off a shot, damaging it and compromising its integrity. But both blades return to the side of Ketvar.
I run. As much distance as possible, I run.
Well, you already used your maneuver. That being said,
I can say, move, right? If I have a destination, it's the rope.
let's see. Let's go with Let's go with this guy for my temporary stand-in for Ketvar.
Could you have a temporary stand out for Kepvar?
No.
Damn it.
Not at all.
Need major NPCs. There we go. Sith Lords.
Oh, I should have used my frenzied attack. Damn it.
We're gonna use
I'm
Darth.
gonna forget shit now.
We're gonna have Darth Bane as a stand-in.
He could actually be here if he's on our side.
And then
He
I'm
is
gonna need
a-
initiative from everybody.
What if instead he was just cool with it?
Hear me out. He said, "Look, I admire your courage. Get the fuck out."
Okay.
Oh, I roll good now? Okay. Fuck you.
Okie dokie. The blades return to
Hey, does he-
Ketvar's hands. However, you watch as the body itself returns back to the sarcophagus, but the aspect or the manifestation of Ketvar stands before you, returning back to the same visage that you see now on the screen. He will lunge forward with the two lightsabers. I need to create another lightsaber for the dual wield.
No, you don't.
No.
No.
There we go. It's a 10. And 1. Crit of 1. Ron. Engaged. Lightsaber. There we go. We'll do that. Okay. Nope. No, Braun. I was wrong. I lied.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Let's have at least 2 advantages.
Okay. Gonna target you guys. He's gonna go for Chav, as he's the current distraction to his target.
Uh-oh.
Why would you do a thing like that? Now you're just gonna make Raw mad.
Rawl, you watch as Ketvar's the aspect of Ketvar rushes past you, blades extended, these crimson blades coursing through the air as they come down over with a overhead strike down onto Chav. Chav,
He could not. And he is using a lightsaber for this.
yes, you guys so fucking lucky.
I am a god.
You got so fucking lucky.
I am a god.
Let's take a
I
look
bow
at his.
before your greatness.
I can never die.
Oh no.
Byron, have fun.
Okay.
We'll see you next week.
Don't die. And I don't know how clear.
Very close.
Don't die. It just.
No promises.
Hey, there's this here. As I'm now looking at the stats of these weapons, if he gets less than, what is it gonna be? Yeah, if he gets less than 2 successes when he hits me in the future, because it's going to happen, I will still be alive. Wait, no, because so long as he
Dual
also
wielding
does-
gives the wielder an additional hit as long as he has enough advantages available. So potentially dealing with 20 points of wounds.
So he's got to not get that either.
Yeah, this guy's gonna be a bit of a problem. Just putting it out there.
Red is getting one shot by this guy.
Because the worst part about it is you guys don't know exactly what you're up against because things are going to be different for you going forward. That being said, he used his maneuver and his action. It is now your guys' turn. What do you do?
How far away is he now?
He's still within engaged range from you. He's just turning his attention to Chav.
Okay. I'm gonna suffer 2 strain to upgrade my priority dice.
Okay. While you're at it, I do need you to conduct for me a daunting fear check with a challenge of 1. I got the difficulty for you already.
Oh, I'll do that first. Daunting fear check?
All right, I got the difficulty rolled. You just have to... that's going to be, either discipline or cool. 4 failures, 2 threats.
Jesus.
Why are you doing this to me?
Chav, why don't you also go ahead and get that out of the way now?
What are my options? Discipline or cool?
Yep.
Correct.
So my options are 1 ability dice or 2 ability dice.
Would you like to phone a friend?
We only have 1 of those left.
Yeah. Do I have any?
Fuck it, we all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no. Would you consider this to be a coercion check?
Nope. Fear is discipline or cool.
We are just very terrified of his impressive girth.
Yep. I don't got anything. Damn. Okay. Well,
Just, hey man. We're
I'm
here.
hanging on.
I'm with you, buddy.
I'm hanging on.
Have you ever seen the movie Cloverfield? How at the end, like, the chick's losing her mind and the dude just says, "Hey, look at me, I love you." And then she says, "I love you too," so that they're kind of happy right before the nuke gets dropped on them.
Okay.
That's Chav and Rawl right now.
Just like that.
Chav, you
to
suffer
whiteboard.
2 points of strain, failing your check.
Oogie.
Rawl, you do not suffer strain, however, you do fail your check. Every action you guys take from this point on has an additional setback die to the action.
I automatically fail my check.
No, you just failed the check. You rolled the discipline and it was 1.
Yeah, I failed the fear.
Yes.
I rolled for the fear, but I didn't roll for my turn.
I'm not talking about your turn yet. I'm talking about what you just rolled against.
Gotcha. Okay.
Focus.
Listen.
I know you're in a bit of a shit sandwich.
Rough go here, Tarzan. Just saying.
No worries. Focus. We got you guys. So yeah.
I want you to have us. I want us to be gone.
Take me into the sweet abyss.
You have 1 setback die. Oh no, you failed by several.
Correct.
Rawl, you have 3 setback die to all checks going forward. You, Chav, have 2 setback die.
All good.
All right.
I already have one anyway, so we're tied.
Okay. That being said, Rawl, what's your course of action?
My brother in Christ. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah.
Our options are fight or run.
I'd say at this point in time, Raw.
He did close the door
this-
behind you guys, so you don't have that immediate route out.
Correct.
Right, there's a rope.
Rawl has only been in this position only once before, back on Dathomir, when it was his first hunt with Oho, and he just felt cornered. So he goes, mind starts to shut down, and he's going into this tunnel vision mode. I need to finish this opponent or die trying. And yeah, he's going to take 2 strain to upgrade his ability die.
Okay. What are you doing?
He's still in an engage range, so he's going to take a swipe at the guy.
Okay, I'm going to need you to switch the ability that you normally use to willpower instead.
First of all, I don't even know if I can do that in the game.
You go to the weapon itself, or that you're using. Switch the ability associated currently with it to it from melee to willpower.
Hey, Tarzan, what the fuck?
You're fighting an aspect of darkness, man. What did you expect?
I put this on the ass.
What does that mean?
I was kind of hoping for this outcome because I wanted to put the fear of Darth in you.
I again don't know how.
So you literally would have to edit the weapon. And
Yes, you got to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm doing, and it's not linking it to the ability. It's linking it to the skill. So that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do.
That's yeah. You select the skill tab. You scroll down to willpower.
There is no willpower.
Oh, that's right. Interesting. So a skill associated with willpower. So that's going to be. Let's go with.
Can we pick one that Raw's really good with?
Lightsaber.
Let me make sure I'm reading this right. Talents. Oh. Combat checks. Targeting the apparition, always use willpower in place of characteristics normally associated with it. Okay. Cool. So in that case, just take however many dice you have available to your willpower and just roll that. Because it's not using its normal skill, you do not get any proficiency die with it. It's just a straight willpower dice pool. So you don't have to change anything.
So okay, hang on, pause. So I can't even utilize my skill to upgrade my ability die.
No, you cannot.
What you're telling me. Okay.
Also, the difficulty gets upgraded 3 times. It should automatically calculate 4.
Man anymore. That just sounds like too much work. I'm not gonna swing at this man anymore. I am instead going to utilize my utility belt feature.
No, you already said you're making a melee attack. Come on, let's roll it out.
Oh.
Come on now.
I have no. I'm just gonna make a willpower roll. This makes no sense.
Might I, before he makes this roll, say a thing? Can Chav yell a thing to Rawl?
Speaking is free actions, yeah. We already announced that we're making a melee attack, so I do want to see that.
Well, that's fair, but I'm just going to suggest changing the target.
Well,
because Jav's just going to yell and say, he likes his fucking lightsabers, light him up.
I mean, that's what Rawl was been aiming at the whole time.
Well, you didn't say that this turn. If you were trying to attack the lightsaber again, does that change things, sir?
You're going for a moving target. So I mean, you already got 3 setback die as is. To attack a moving target, that's probably gonna, I'm gonna say another 2 setback die. So you're dealing with a pool of like 5 setback.
So
Total?
I have,
But is he still using willpower?
Yeah,
Damn it.
absolutely. There's no changing the ability pool that's being used against this guy. So it's all your guys' actions have the setback from the fear. Rawl, you have 3. Chav, you got 2. Any additional targets? You got. So you have 1 more. That's yeah. Rawl, you go racing in towards the aspect of Ketvar, swinging wildly. Your blade passes through his special form. He disperses as the blade is about to make contact, and you make you do not strike true. Anything else? You have a maneuver.
yeah, I'm looking. How tall is this room?
A couple 100 feet, at least 150.
Can I spend 2 strain to buy a maneuver to hop on my hoverboard and get out of swinging range?
That's fair. Yeah, you use 1 maneuver to mount your hoverboard, and another maneuver to create some distance. Yes,
Okay.
leaving behind Chav.
Listen, I gotta do something.
It's all right. I'm up next, and I have a similar.
All right, that'll end your turn. Chav, you're up next.
Yeah, watching an axe pass through this man unscathed. Where's that rope?
Far side of the chamber, you got about. Let's get rid of this thing. Let's get a ruler. Well, you guys would have been at the center chamber by this point, so you got about 15 feet of movement.
How much? 15?
50.
Oh, 50. And that's where the rope is, and where the rope leads to?
Where's the rope?
150 feet up, you said.
Yeah, the rope leads up 150 feet.
What's out the rooms of rope?
Say again?
What side of the room is the rope?
North,
Over there.
east corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He's right in front in gauge range. And I just flew out of range. How far would that have gotten me out of his range?
At the speed of 50 feet.
Cool. I can do that.
So you can move them anywhere within 50 feet of this position.
Chav, are you moving towards the rope?
How many range bands is 158 feet?
That's 3.
Damn it.
So if it's Chav's turn, we're heading out. Rawl's gonna probably interpose himself so that Chav can have something to run to.
I should be using my entire thing to try to get to and as far up that rope as I can. Because the only option is out.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, you can only do 2 maneuvers in a turn, unless you have an ability that allows you to do so.
That's what we got.
All right.
If I have an ability that allows you want to put me in a vehicle? I have all kinds of abilities.
Mm-hmm. So if that got me 50 for that one maneuver, then 2 maneuvers got him 100. Yeah.
That'll get him 50 feet off the ground.
Yep. Right. 50 feet over, 50 feet up.
So you guys are over here now. Change your elevation to 50.
That's what we got.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll end your turn?
I got nothing else.
All right. Ketvar Blood. The aspect of Ketvar Blood, seeing you trying to run, is going to use his command of the Force. Let me see to what extent. The Force abilities. Thank you. Update.
I don't like this man.
Then why are we here?
Okay. Here we go. No, I don't want to see ads. Go away. Okay. All right. He's gonna need to change that. Okay, there we go. Gotcha. He's going to use that. Okay. He's going to use his full control of the force ability move, or force power move.
Of course he has moved.
He's going to pull Chav back to him.
No, he's not. I say no. I do not consent.
Actually, what would be better? No, he's going to use bind. He's using bind.
I don't like that.
Your body will seize up if this power is successful, and you will fall that 50 feet without the ability to reduce the fall damage.
Oh, good.
Mastery. When the user is making a bind power check, if the check was not already opposed, the user may roll an opposed discipline check against one target of the power. If no points are used to generate and the user succeeds on the check, they may immediately stagger the target until the end of their next turn. If any force points are used to generate a force point and the check succeeds, the target suffers a critical injury, adding plus 10 to the roll per force point spent on the check. Ooh, this is going to suck.
So, like, you can spend 1 force point, and he's got a dice pool of, like, 3 ability die, right?
That's going to be 5 ability dies, plus 5 force die.
Reported for hacking.
I'm gonna need a
what?
a discipline check from you.
Oh, goody. Two successes.
Oh my fuck.
2 successes. So, with me seeing all of those force points and stuff, if I do 2 successes, does stuff still happen?
Oh yeah, because those 2 dark side points count as additional points of success.
Oh. So I gotta beat 4.
However, I'm
which
going to.
like literally,
side token.
there is
It's 2
one
points.
side.
2
There's
points
one-
per strain. So
Surely there
that's
must be
12.
some detriment for getting 6 light side
12,
on him.
hold on, 12 what?
Oh no, he's converting
12 what?
those light side points to dark side using strain.
So you're telling me here with that I have to beat a 14.
Yes.
Correct.
All right, how much damage do I take from the fall?
Um.
I have 2 dice to my discipline. Fuck off.
Yeah, there's no.
Sorry, guys. You guys are fucking with a extremely powerful force user.
Hey. I want you to take the S
You
off of that,
fuck-
guys.
First, okay? I'm just retaliating.
All you had to do was take the deal. Fall damage.
He didn't even give me time to respond.
You did
He was
respond
like-
by attacking his lightsaber. That was
He threatened me. What am I going to do here? He put a knife to my throat and said, "Hey, touch
take
this."
the deal.
No.
He said, take the deal. You said, axe to the blade. Fall damage, short. 1 range band is short, so short damage. You cannot reduce the fall damage, so you cannot convert range. Character can reduce damage from falling by making an average athletics check. Triumph could at the. Okay, you're going to be taking 10 points of fall damage.
Okay. Roll a crit for me.
However,
Unless I can soak it.
Yeah, you could apply soak to it.
Okay, cool.
However, you are getting a critical injury.
Well, at least it's not 2 for being
'Cause
at 0
Let's see,
wounds.
how vindictive would he be? He wants to make him hurt. He wants to make Rawl hurt to take the deal.
So do I roll the crit or do you roll the crit?
I'm committing. I got it. I got you. 1 second.
Okay.
I gotta figure out how much he's willing to pour into you.
Pour all of
You roll
it
the
in,
crit.
daddy.
It automatically puts it on your character. You roll it.
That's true. You want me to push the button for simplicity?
Give me 1 second, because I can add it. 10 points per roll or per force point. So I'm calculating how vindictive he's going to be right now.
I can make those adjustments as well. I have a +10 and a -10.
I know. Let me figure out this character real quick. Shit. All
You
right.
know what? Instead of figuring out the character, you could just say he disappears and we win.
He's also going to spend 2 points to increase the magnitude, so he's also going to target you, Roll. He's committing 3 point force tokens.
Can he not?
So, Roll, you're stuck in the air on the hoverboard.
How does he have multiple actions?
This isn't multiple actions. This is him activating multiple features of his force mastery bind ability.
He basically twin spelled.
Basically. You both
Because
are
he can do that.
also disoriented.
Oh, okay, let me throw that on there.
Well, hang on. I haven't rolled for.
Can you beat 14?
I can try.
You can definitely try. Yeah, that
What's your
would actually.
discipline on me?
That would reduce
Show
the
me-
amount
show
of
me
force
your
points that he has available. So let's see what you guys got.
Show me your moves. Discipline. You can roll a maximum of 6.
Yeah.
Chav, you're also going to want to roll because that will reduce how many force points he has available to commit.
Moody.
You're going to want to reduce the amount of force points he has available to him.
Are we happy? Are we happy?
Oh, we're happy, Mr. Crab.
For Holmst. Yay! We got him for 1 force point, guys.
Okay, so he no longer has 8. He has 7 force points available.
Oh, painful.
I bet he's very upset about it.
He has 7. Okay.
He's crying to his mommy because we stole his force point.
Yeah, he's like the most upset now. He can't do anything.
You guys are disoriented for 1, 2, 3 rounds.
Billion rounds.
Just kill us. It's fine.
That's 1, 2, 3 points. He's got 4 remaining. He spent 2 for magnitude. That's 2 remaining. So he's going to dump 2 points into the critical injury roll that you're about to suffer. Oh, both of you are suffering this. Never mind. You both failed the check. So you both will be suffering a plus 20 critical injury.
Okay, do you want me to push that button?
Yes, add 20 and then roll the injury table.
Okay.
See, now
balance. Oh, cool.
It's a good thing you rolled your discipline checks.
I have a setback to my next skill check that I can't do.
Wait, I have something for critical injury stuff. Shit.
So now you're at 3 setback, Chav. Well, in proximity of this aspect.
4 if you count the if it's be using brawn or agility, because I wasn't able to take off my training weights.
Oh yeah, that's right. That will end his turn as he uses his maneuver to walk towards you. You guys will not be able to move. You can still take actions, I believe. Let me double check this ability. Control. Anytime you take an action, you will suffer. Oh no, I do have a force point left after that. Yeah. Anytime you take an action, you will suffer 5 points of strain, as that is the current willpower rating of Ketvar Blood.
5 points of strain, you say?
Yes, sir.
To do an action.
To do an action.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And he's going to walk over to you, Chav, as you fall to the ground.
Why is he...
Oh, so really quick, just looked it up. Disoriented adds a setback die to all checks that you make. So that means that I have 4 setback die.
You guys are in so much fucking trouble. All right, who's going next?
Setback die. 5 setback die to whatever I want to try. And if I want to try to do that thing that's going to fail with 5 setback die, I have to take 5 points of strain. Which is going to put me at 9 out of 12. I can do one thing.
Is it gonna cause me strain to look around and make a perception check?
That's an action, yes.
What the fuck?
You guys. I'm gonna put into perspective the severity of the situation you're dealing with. You guys cannot move. Any action that you take will cost you strain, And this guy is beelining it for Chav right now. Menacingly.
Can he do something not menacingly? Can I challenge him to do that? Can I just look at him and be like, hey, be wholesome for a second, or else you're not allowed to kill me?
I mean, you know his intentions.
Fuck it.
Fuck it, we ball. And then as soon as you figure out if you are able to reduce a critical injury or not, go ahead and roll that plus 20.
I can, but that's about a destiny point. And I already rolled it, so I have scattered senses.
Okay. All right. It is now your guys' turn. You know his intentions. You can take the boon or continue to try and fight him off. But somebody is going to die.
Okay. Okay. I'm bound, but I'm standing, yes?
You're still on the hoverboard, yeah. You just cannot control it.
I mean, I'm facing him. Like, my back is to the rope. I'm facing him, so I'm facing the sarcophagus. Is it really going to cost me strain to look with my eyes directly in front of me?
A perception check is an action. It will give you strain, yes.
All right, fine.
So while you're coming to terms with this, let's go ahead and take a quick momentary break from the severity of the situation that you guys have found yourselves in and turn ourselves over to Dove.
No. Why are you doing
Hey man, this means we get five more minutes with these characters.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Rawl, start thinking of a plan. Go ahead and you and Chav talk things out. But in the meantime, Dove, above, on the surface of Korriban, you receive the Crypt Chasers along with Ego, and you begin preparations for extraction, getting them all packed, all situated to get loaded up on their ships. You direct Uno to land the Echo Selene to prepare for your arrival. It's at this point you see what appears to be a comet streaking through the sky, the atmosphere of Korriban. But it's distorted. You see what appears to be like a explosive ring that it emerges from. A ring that distorts almost. It seems distorted, as if it's a ripple in space-time. And as this comet streaks through the sky, you watch as it descends, burning brightly over the atmosphere, and descends in an incredible speed down towards the surface of the planet. You see off in the distance, it impacts a isolated tomb at the surface of the top of it, scraping the tomb, and shortly thereafter, a cloud of dust erupts, and you can hear what sounds like an explosion. And then you get a very scrambled communique from Guy.
Was that fast enough?
you get the impression that Dove is very much like genuinely baffled. But it all comes down to what I told you not to crash.
I didn't. Gal, fault.
Hmm.
And then you just hear like in the intercut thing, it's just, stop, ow, stop, stop, quit me.
You, Guy, travel an incredible distance utilizing a fabled technique of short distance jumping. Something that's been rumored, but it has been disclosed by scholars all across as a suicidal attempt.
If I may, I think the way that this probably unfolded was after speaking with Dove and telling them I'm on my way back. Guy basically asked Gal to start moving the ship up as they were making the calculations, and the calculations weren't working. They ran it several times. Nothing. Guy actually takes out like a holo screen, like basically a chalkboard, and brings up the map of the sector and the regions nearby, and literally starts kind of like hand by hand making calculations himself while Gal is making other calculations. And he goes, okay, I can't find this calculation. What's a ship? What's a trip that would give me in that direction? What is this direction? What are the altitudes, the longitudes, whatever things he was trying to figure out in like the space between like certain planets. And then he just has that moment, sits on it, looks at Gal. Gal just kind of gives him a little whirl and just sort of goes, I think this is a moment where he just thinks about the crew, the group, and says, I know. This one is different. And then it's just that moment of, you don't have to do it with me if you don't want to.
Nope, wrong one.
And Gal jumps out of this.
Gal just leaves. But it was that moment of agreeing and then just going for this thing, and then just sort of like getting out to the thing, jumping, and just being like prep. It was like jumping, hitting the punch, like punching it, and then having Gal ready to help him with the yank back.
Your ship is still serviceable. However, it did take significant strain as well as hull trauma in this attempt. This is the first attempt of its kind. Your ship will have a critical injury or critical system strain. So go ahead and roll on the crit table for your YT freighter. And I'm going to say it at least takes half your hull trauma and half your system strain to pull this off, to have successfully pulled this off. So 12 and 9. So you're still able to fly. However, your ship needs some serious repair.
Cool. I can live with that. Yeah, that being the case, probably Dove just hears, you hear the equivalent of fire extinguishers and things as you just hear updates. What? Any location?
Ego and several of the crypt chasers are accounted for, but still no word from Raal and Shav.
No signal?
Not even a blip.
I can take the current chasers or fly around to gather, see if I can sense the signal somewhere nearby.
And by this point, you'll see the YT freighter that Guy is piloting, limping its way towards you on the horizon. Flames expelling from the exterior, the communications dish warped beyond recognition. leads you to believe that realize that that's why the communication's been spotty with him so far, despite being in planet side. His ship looks fucking bad.
The hull is looking tough. The smoke coming from all parts. The fact that the ship is still going is
it's a miracle.
a miracle.
Should we try find them down there? Think you're up for that?
Guy, go ahead and give me a perception check as you're making your way towards the current position of the crew.
Sure thing. Perception.
As you're passing by, as you're passing by, you're approaching the Valley of the Dark Lords. You get ready to get up to go check on some of your systems, and make any quick repairs as you're approaching the valley. But as you stand up, you look down onto the surface of the planet, and you spot tucked away in a culvert, just a couple 100 feet away from the far side of the tombs of Darth Bane and Naga Sadao. No, not Naga Sadao. He's Marka Ragnos. You see three separate ships. One parked by itself. No, not three. No, two. Three. Two ships located close together. However, a third ship that appears imperial in design. Three ships. That's right, three ships. One you recognize as a typical smuggler transport. Pirates usually associated with the ship. Another one that seems to be a smaller transport, and then an old Sith or Imperial transport.
I think the moment that he spots that, he first just goes, "Gal, just patch me through the local network quick," hoping that Gal will basically move so he can move to his comm instead of using the transmitter from the ship to use the comm link, and so that Dove can hear properly. And he just uses whatever coordinates. He doesn't know if Dove understands the coordinates or so. Well, he tries to be like, hey, northwest or whatever from your location. Unless these ships are from the friends that you just rescued, I think there is more company than we expected. And he's just going to give you the sort of directional section for you to look at to hopefully spot the sort of tucked in ships that are in the near vicinity.
In reference for you, Dove, this would be directly east, the position that Guy gives you. However, you're not able to get a line of sight as this location is on the far side of the tombs, and there's no space in between to get to see through on the other side of these tombs.
Can I fly up?
That's true. You can fly up with your suit. You seeing that there's no way for you to see through the other side, you activate your thrusters to get to the top side of the nearest tomb, and you peer down and you use your scope, and you see an old Sith transport. You've seen these before, reminiscent of the Inquisitors long ago. And then you see another transport usually associated with pirates or smugglers, and then a smaller transport. However, you do not see the owners of these ships. These ships have been parked there for some time. You're not sure how long. Whether they got there before you or after is unknown. But you realize that there's more possible threats in the vicinity than you realized.
Inquisitors don't like that. Pirates don't mind that. They can be more reasonable, surprisingly. I will relay this to Guy, just so he knows what to expect.
When he hears about the Inquisitors, he does not like. He's like, no. He just has that moment, like you say, Inquisitors, and you just have that moment, like Guy goes
Flashback.
completely still and literally just like looks back, and you just see like Gal is just like tapping a little like fire, like it stopped on the whole mess of the ship that is just like flashing red. And
Just
everything.
seeing gouts of electrical sparks.
Yeah, and it's just that it's just like sparks, and he just sort of like. I think it would be wise to move away from this section. I can help you escort the group if you need.
With that,
It's a good thing to do.
the team on the surface has a lot to unpack. Avoiding this new developmental threat. Let's go ahead and return our attentions back to the tomb below. Rawl, Chav, what is your plan of action?
Oh, I'm supposed to look at that. You want me to do it, Chav, or
No.
because I can try to use some force behind it, maybe.
All right, guys, you're in the throes of battle right now with an aspect of darkness.
Oh, we know. We are aware.
Chad's going first.
Okay.
Okay.
Chav makes eye contact with Rawl. We don't get out of here unless you take his deal. And I ain't letting you fucking do that. Chav is going to. Hey, Tarzan, you're more for the story than being a stickler for the rules, right?
If it sounds good, yeah, absolutely.
I'll do my best. Chav is going to stand up. And Chav is going to look directly into this guy's eyes. You happy that you made us scared? Happy that you got us terrified to fucking bits? I fucking hope you are. Because it doesn't mean a god's damned thing. I've been afraid since I've been fucking born. If it means that I'm afraid when I'm dead, you can suck my golden dick. I would like to use the last force token to produce an explosive. And Chav's only wish is that this fucker's attention is on him while Rawl can get out.
Okay. That does cost you 5 points of strain.
I got him.
Okay. I like that. He continues his stride towards you. Both lightsabers extended at his out to the sides, dragging the tips of his blades across the stonework. You watch as the stones begin to glow red hot and liquefy into magma, trailing behind him. That will be your turn.
Was
Raw.
the 5 strain to summon the, or to like, what part of that was the 5 strain? Because if I can, I want to throw it at the big glowing door.
You're using the utility belt feature to pull this grenade, right?
I don't have that, but my understanding from when we were learning this game was that force tokens
Oh,
be used
you could also do that, yeah.
for a thing.
Well, so you could cash in tokens usually as for like backup ammunition, not for stuff for limited ammo.
I'm cashing in a force token and my character. Can I get a little leeway here on what could be considered additional ammo?
How about no?
Listen,
Because
You're targeting the. I'm gonna say you can't throw the grenade. Let's see if you even succeed on throwing, because you still have to use. Being that you're not targeting him, though, you can actually use the ranged light feature. So, you're targeting the gate. Go ahead and make a ranged light weapon attack. It's a short range from you.
Good.
This action costs you 5 points of strain to do so.
Is that part of the 5 that I already, that from what you said earlier?
Yeah, that's the 5.
And I need to add
You're
4 additional setback time.
You're disoriented.
I got that. 4 additional. 2 for him, 1 for my crit, which I believe is shaken, and then 1 for disoriented. So, or no, off balance. That's what it is. Plus the additional 1 because this is an agility-based skill, and I'm wearing training weights. This is a total of 5 setback die. However, maneuvers don't cost strain with this thing, so I will use the True Aim thing to upgrade the ability twice.
Unfortunately, you are still under the effects of the bind ability.
Which was?
You are immobilized, so you cannot use maneuvers.
Fine. I don't care. Like I said, he can suck my golden dick.
If you succeed, you will temporarily break free of this force effect.
What do you mean if I did?
You did succeed?
2 successes,
Correct.
2 advantages.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. You prime the grenade and throw it at the gate.
And right before it hits the ground, Chav just turns back and says, "Find Oho and tell him I called him a bitch." Above table. Oho knows that it's a term of endearment.
The grenade goes off as the dust expels outward, enveloping your senses.
That is Chad Visto for this turn.
All right. In the effort to do so, you are, I'm going to say this effort returns you back to the prone state that you were originally in, since you're not able to use maneuver normally. So you're back to being prone.
There. As long as he's still looking at me.
We are now at Rawl's turn.
I mean, you're behind me. I'm just in the air above you.
Yeah, you're 50 feet above me, and there's salvation 100 feet from you. And you got at least one turn, because he's got to hit me.
Do I have maneuvers? I'm still affected by bind. I can't.
You are
do
immobilized. Yeah.
I can't move, but I can utilize my maneuver turns to do other things.
No, you cannot use a maneuver while immobilized.
Not a maneuver at all. Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Not even
So
something
basically, he's forcing you to watch him kill your friend.
Not even
I can-
utilizing strain. Like if he pays that 5 strain, he can't use his action to move.
You cannot move while immobilized. So you have to break that immobilized condition.
I'm
And-
not Tarzan.
and the grenade did nothing to shake that hold.
You want to spend an action looking? That's dumb.
Well,
no.
He's
It
right
just went
in
off.
front of me.
Thank you.
It just went off. So you can't really tell if it's done anything at this moment.
Okay.
What's your plan?
Plan. Plan, he says.
You can do another discipline check to try and break free. Does
Man,
cost strain.
There's nothing that I can do to break that. I have 3 die. That's not doing any. I can't mathematically break that.
Because he's still rolling against 14 successes, is he not?
No,
Right.
it's an opposed discipline check.
Oh. So it's going to be 14 successes.
No, because he only has 2 force die available to himself right now because he committed 3 to keeping you guys under the effects that you currently are under. So there's a chance you could break out. And he doesn't have any addition. He only has 2 force die to supplement his discipline. So he could potentially generate 4 more points to succeed, but it's better than doing nothing.
I mean,
And if you break free, that gives you your maneuvers back.
okay. All right. Here we go, I guess.
All right.
You just hear Dove in your head. You swear you can hear it say,
Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it.
All right.
I mean,
roll that,
okay.
Roll that discipline. Do you have? You don't have any force abilities that enhance your abilities yet. That's right.
Yeah. But I do have where'd it go? I just saw it. This once per session may add 2 setbacks to any NPC's skill check as an action.
It's an action.
Oh, damn it. Fine.
This discipline check takes your action, so this is your
Exactly.
trying to break free.
Correct. You are correct.
All right, come on. Make a decision, my bud. All right. Let's see if you get lucky. Oh, shit. Does he have... What's his strain at?
Oz. 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 I want you to look at me. I want you to look at me here. All right. Okay. All right.
Oh,
Move.
no.
You can move.
Hold on.
If you
No.
stay in this room, I'm coming to find you personally.
No.
That's 4 points of strain he's going to have to take on. Just convert those. He has 1 success so far.
No.
You know what? Rawl's not his focus. He is his focus, but he wants him. He's going to let you succeed. You break free. You are now able to move.
Oz. The great and powerful.
Time to make a decision. Take
Oz
the deal
advance.
or watch your friend get killed.
Or do
Or-
neither of those things and
Third
leave.
option. Fourth option, I tap into the dark side to overpower his dark side.
No, we gotta wrap up soon.
There's so many dark side points. Ah, Jesus Christ.
I will find you. Just saying.
So my action has been burned.
Yep, you just have a maneuver.
I just have maneuver.
And incidental. You can
I can't even get out of the room with one maneuver.
But an extra turn
I'm a-
while he's doing something unspeakable, which is obviously going to be sucking my golden.
you can take an additional maneuver for 2 points of strain.
That's also true. If you got him.
Can I?
However, that hoverboard doesn't go up that high. You gotta use the ropes.
Correct. I do. Fuck me, dude.
Come on, we gotta wrap this up, buddy.
I know.
Do it.
Listen, okay, I'm gonna use my maneuver to get towards the rope and go up it as much as possible.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my incidental to grab onto the rope. Is my remote control, if it comes off, does it just hover next to me as it's next to me?
It's not going to go up with you because it doesn't have the elevation for it.
Right.
So
It's not going to drop, is what I'm saying.
yeah, it's going to stay in place
Okay.
unless you use a maneuver to incidental to. Object interaction is an incidental.
Okay. Never mind. We're gonna have to lose the partner, I guess.
Why? You can pick it up with an incidental.
I'm using the incidental to grab the rope.
There's no limits to. There's limitations to incidentals to a point. You can do as many as you need, but if it's too much, then I can step in and be like, that's too much. You're doing too much.
So take
can
incidentals
grab
until
the rope.
Tarzan tells you no.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab the rope and try to holster the hoverboard in one motion.
Okay.
I'm going to suffer 2 strain. How much strain have I burned so far to
maneuver
to get over there? I haven't done anything. Okay, so
So you took the 5 for because strain isn't reduced by
You should be at 11
so-
right now.
yeah.
If you're using the 2 for an additional maneuver plus the 5 that you needed for that
Action to break free.
then
Break
you should
free,
be at
that's what it
11.
was. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. I'm going to use as much distance to get between me and this thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm gonna spend my 2 strain to get up that rope.
All right.
So now I'm still in the room though. I have like 50 more feet to go.
You're 100 feet up, yes.
How many range bands is that away from me?
It's medium range. Engage to short to medium. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will hold. Yeah, I'll keep going, and that's it. That's all I can do.
Okay. The explosion goes off. You hear metal raining down from the from being expelled. Ketvar looks over at the gate. Actually, no, he's still focused on Chav. However, the rumble from the explosion seems to intensify. As the chamber begins to shake violently, you can hear the fracturing of stone as these shears travel across the entirety of the ceiling. Suddenly, as Ketvar raises one blade overhead, palm spins it to have into a reverse grip, standing over Chav. He's about to thrust his blade into the chest of Chav as a massive chunk of ceiling comes crashing down just to the side. Ketvar shields his recoils in reaction. Chav, you muster all the might you can to try and roll out of the way of the stone raining down. Dust expels outward. You're clinging tightly to the rope as the concussive force shakes the ropes and causes you to sway violently side to side. Your senses go dark as dust fills the room. However, at the epicenter of this fallen stonework, you can see 2 silhouettes. One laying prone on the ground, the other standing leaning over top of them. As the dust begins to settle, Oho stands over top the light of the wounded warrior, Inquisitor, lost brother. How would you like to end this scene?
Battle had been occurring on a separate chamber with stakes just as high between a lost brother and a brother trying to find his way back to his. A gruesome battle that ended with a lot of hurt, a lot of damage, and a lot of uncertainty as to who may be the winner, seemingly. The clash of force energies of blades causing the integrity of that structure to weaken. And as a final blow is dealt from each end of this battle. The final thrust, Ojos, is successful as the ground gives in and these two figures literally fall several layers of stone until they crash into this chamber. The dust leaving only sight for the silhouetted figure of a slender male who then slowly stumbles away from the other figure on the ground of the lost brother. And as the dust begins to settle, the eyes of Oho meet you, Chav, as you can see him no longer with his dreads, but rather short buzz hair. His body covered in marks and blood. One arm seemingly not properly in place. A small limp. His eyes knowingly moving to meet Ral on the rope. A lot to say, yet no words could be found to say what needs to be said in this moment. He turns to this Darth figure. His lightsaber ignites as you now see on his right hand this yellow amberish glowing blade turn on. Eyes locked on this individual that has been fighting you. Blade pointed at the lost brother as he just says, pointing at it, payment.
Muted, buddy.
Is the cave-in still happening? Is this still
This is the aftermath at this point.
Because if this is the end, for sure, seeing everything, looking back up at this individual, Chav's going to laugh. Smile for the camera, bitch.
That's where we're going to end this story. Thank you all for tuning into tonight's episode of Star Wars Edge of the Empire, the reunion of the Lost Brothers, now found once again. Tune in next time for the next episode to continue this epic journey, to find out what Oho has been up to this entire time while this crew has been gone on their own. Be on the lookout for our YouTube series that we'll be dropping for a limited run series of the adventure of Oho and his Jedi Master, Eliza. We are 2B Dice Adventures. We'll see you next time.